Hi, it's me, Chris Perguidi. Right now it's 2:49 in the morning, and it's September 5th, 2011. I think it's about 7 days before my birthday. I have to admit something. I've been pretty depressed for the last few months. Pretty down, you know. I haven't really been all that happy. I haven't really figured out why. And it's really eating at me. Really eating at me. Because I've lived a blessed life. You know, I shouldn't be unhappy. I've been able to pursue my dreams non-stop for the last, well, my whole life. I can't really think of a time when I wasn't pursuing my dreams. And unlike most people, I've actually succeeded. Never really in a big way, but enough that I've gotten recognition. If you go onto Google, you can Google my name, Chris Perguidi, Perguidi, and tons of stuff will come up. You know, if you just type in Perguidi, it'll even say, do you mean Chris Perguidi? And that's amazing. You know, most people, they type in their name, they get a bunch of pictures, a bunch of other people, or some famous celebrities who have similar names, or whatever, but search my name, you know, I'll come up. It's pretty cool. I've been lucky to do so much. I've done comic books, I've done movies, I've done cartoons, I've done webisodes, I've done pretty much everything you can imagine. I've done the radio. Some of the stuff was amazing, some of the stuff was crap, some of the stuff's got tons of views, some of the stuff you're never going to hear of ever. You know, it's totally buried crap. And I got to meet some huge celebrities. I did an interview show with my friend Erica and my friends Sam and James, and we did it for about 3, maybe 4 years. It ran on local public access stations here in the Bay Area. We got to interview some big name celebrities. We got to meet Mr. Lobo, and he got involved with a feud with Chris Jericho, and I even got to play a fake Chris Jericho and hit Mr. Lobo with a folding chair. It was pretty cool. I interviewed John Schneider from Dukes of Hazzard, and he yelled at us, and it was kind of like a big dramatic thing on the internet. Videos got a good amount of views, not a lot, but you know, enough, you know. I did a short web series with my friend James Myrick. We did that about the same amount of time, kind of overlapping. And it was called The Chris and James Adventures. Now that was pretty big. It was probably one of the bigger things we did. Some of the views had about, 20,000 views, something like that, 10,000 views. A lot of views. We had a lot of subscribers, about 200, 300, 400 subscribers. That's a lot. You know, it was a good amount. And we took the videos down. We uploaded them on a new page because it was my personal page, so we decided to put it on a new page, and we're never able to get those views back. Part of that probably led me to being depressed because it kind of crushed my hopes and dreams. You worked so hard doing these things, but you went from having 10,000 views to only 300 views. And that's all you see. You don't see that these things have really high amount of views. You only see that they have low amount of views right now. And it's kind of sickening. Think about it. And it really, really depressed me because it just seemed like my chance again was pulled out from under me. My opportunity to be famous, to be somebody, to do what I love most was taken away. Not by anybody. I mean, it was our decision. But also, after that, I started doing comic books again. I did them when I was younger. I used to make little tiny comic books, and I'd go to conventions and sell them, and I'd ride on my bike and give them to people here and there and go on the bus. And I started making comic books again in 2009. And that's about, 3 years ago. And my friend Alan Angel, he owns a publishing company that's been around for 20 years, started publishing them. And I've done here's a few here. This is Hero Town. I wrote this, did the coloring. This is another issue of Hero Town over here. And these are written by me, and drawn by Alan Angel. Another issue. These are all the same. Oh, here we go. Here's a different one. So, I've been doing this for the last few years. And I even colored this comic book for legendary Adrian H. Scott, Hip Hop Comics. We're doing a crossover with Anne. Let's get some no reflection on there. We're doing a crossover with Anne Frankenstein. She's a Nazi hunter. This is my character, Erica America, and this is Vampiruni by Randall Vogel. And that's coming out soon. Steve Levin drew this. He is a 6-time some kind of winner. I think he won Grammy? I don't know. But he did the cover art for this. And I've been doing all these things. Hitting my head against the wall constantly. Trying to get famous, trying to get my stuff seen. And it's all been, you know, medium, you know. Not down here, but not up here either. Just here. You know, people know me in the comic book industry. But I'm not famous. Not as famous as I should be, at least, in my opinion. And it's depressing. It's sickening. It's sad. But I'm glad I got to do all this stuff, because I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for the fame. I do it just so people see it, and a lot of people see it, and that makes me happy, because I want to entertain people. I want to make them happy. I want to make them smile. I want them to feel how I'm not feeling right now. I want them to feel how I've been unable to feel for a long time. I want to bring a light into their lives. I want to bring a smile to their faces. I want to be an entertainer. That's what I do. I entertain people, and I've been doing that my whole life. And there's probably some things I left out in here, and people are going to be like, hey, what about this, this, and this? But the whole adult life, I've been pursuing this dream. And even when I was a kid, I've been pursuing this dream. I've been pursuing this dream so long that I don't remember when I started. One thing I realize I haven't done, I'll get to that in a minute. A lot of things people don't realize is I'm actually a martial artist. I trained martial arts for 15 years, something like that. Studied Kempo Karate, mixed martial arts, Jiu-Jitsu, a little bit. I'm never really good at that, and most of all Taekwondo. And I studied that for years and years. I studied Taekwondo, and I even got my black belt. This is it right here. This is one of my prized possessions. This is the thing I worked hardest for in my life. I worked for this, my black belt. And unfortunately, I'll be honest, I haven't trained in a long time. I'm a little rusty, and it depresses me because I worked so hard for this right here. This is my prized possession. I have comic books worth thousands of dollars from the golden age. I have rare artwork. I have things you don't even know about. They're worth a lot of money. This here is my prized possession. This is the thing that matters most to me in the world, is this belt. Nothing matters more to me than this. And I think this is part of the reason that I've been sad, is that I've neglected my training as a fighter, as a champion. Not that I ever won any champions, but I trained like a champion, I fought like a champion, and I was the best that I could possibly be. And I need to do that again. So I've decided something. Epiphany came to me. What can I do to pool all these resources, all these things I've done together, public speaking, acting, you know, modeling, whatever I've done, all these crazy things I've done in my life, how can I pull them all together with martial arts, pull them all together and achieve the dreams that I want to achieve the goals that I need to achieve? How am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? And it came to me. It was so simple. It's the thing I wanted to do most in my life when I was a kid. I've decided I'm going to become a professional wrestler. No, not a cage fighter or any of that nonsense. I'm talking about WWE, WWF, classic pro wrestler. Yeah, I seem insane right now, right? Like I'm crazy, I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm a little manic or something. But, maybe you're gonna see just how insane I am. No, just kidding. We're gonna probably make a little more professional video than this later on. This is more like a documenting my madness, my descent to madness, to become a pro wrestler. I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna do everything I can over the next 2 years to become a professional wrestler. My goal being to either be on TNA Impact or WWE SmackDown or Raw, or one of the affiliated SmackDown shows. As long as I'm on a WWE show and you can see it on cable television, I will have achieved my goal. And I'm a wrestler. You know, I'm wrestling. I'm not just out in the audience. We're gonna get to that, and I really think I can pull this off. I've been giving it a lot of thought. I know I just came up with it like 4 hours ago in the shower. I've really given it a lot of thought in those 4 hours, because I think a lot about what it takes to be a pro wrestler. It takes charisma, acting skill, public speaking talent. I have all these things. It takes a knowledge of fighting and physicality, and I have that too. You know, I've done movies where I've been thrown in the barbed wire fences, I've had pipes hit over my head, I've been thrown off of buildings, I've done some crazy fighting shenanigans in my time and in real life, and like I said, I have a martial arts background, I have an acting background, I have a public speaking background. All these things is what makes a wrestler. Now, I went through and I looked through some of the wrestlers I've dated, and wrestlers are really big guys, right? I'm not that big of a guy. You know, I'm a pretty small guy compared to wrestlers. But I looked at my old rival, Chris Jericho. So, when you know this, I did a little skit, or maybe I mentioned this earlier in this thing, but I did a little skit with Mr. Lobo, who had a feud on TMZ with Chris Jericho a few years back. And I did a skit where I played Chris Jericho, and I hit him with a folding chair. I hit Mr. Lobo with a folding chair. I was Chris Jericho. It was pretty popular. So I decided, okay, who can I model myself after physically, and maybe even presence-wise? Who can I model myself after? And I decided, why not Chris Jericho? Now, according to the internet, Chris Jericho is 5'8", 225 pounds. Well, I'm 5'8", 190 pounds. So, I calculate that I have to be as big as Chris Jericho, gain around, 35 pounds? 25 pounds, something like that. It's 3 in the morning now, okay? I can't do any math at this point. I can do that. I can get to Chris Jericho's size. I can be as big as Chris Jericho. I can be as charismatic as Chris Jericho. I can be big of an asshole as Chris Jericho. You know? Chris Jericho's arms are about 18 inches. Right now, mine are 15 and a half inches, around that. So I have to gain, let's say they're 15 inches. I have to gain about 3 inches of muscle to my arms to be equal to the size of Chris Jericho's arms. I don't think that'll be too hard. Like I said, we're doing this for a 2-year period. We're going to follow me, my diet, my weightlifting, my weight, my training, and I'm going to do everything I can over the next 2-year period to become a professional wrestler in the WWE or TNA, Total Impact Wrestling, that I can possibly do. And I'll either succeed or I'll fail, but it'll be a fun ride, you know. We'll see what happens. And this video here isn't, we're gonna do like more professional videos. This video is more like a documentary thing. You know, this is a recording of the events. You know, eventually I'm gonna make like sort of a documentary, or we're gonna incorporate the documentary Sam's already doing, and this is gonna be an amazing ride. So stay tuned and find out if I become a professional wrestler. Just kidding. I don't really laugh like that.